You know, one thing I've noticed as of late is that all these laws that they're trying to push out on censorship, um, technically they are all on the same page, but they're not equal in each individual place, especially overseas in the EU. And we're seeing this already. Last week we discussed that France and the United Kingdom and the EU are at odds, which law to basically go by when it comes to the age verification rules. And France put a halt on it temporarily, but that didn't last long. It didn't last long at all. The courts have, there's already recited and reactivated according to basically via France regulations. So this is going to end up to be a bit of a battle overseas on age verification laws. And and this is what I mean. This is basically these are censorship rules, and there is no, how can I put this, lawmaking that's going on here. This is just literally just trying to self-impose rule of people that basically their own rule that violates their own versions of what's similar to the Constitution. Well, we have here the Constitution. They have their rules in France, the EU, United Kingdom, Asia, Africa. All these countries have rules and regulations in their charters. And meanwhile, they're going against it in many different ways. But before we start on this, I just want to take a moment to thank those of you who have clicked on this video, who have commented, liked, shared, and those of you who have subscribed. It's been a bit slow lately, yes, to that point, but yeah, it's July. Everybody's getting out and stuff like that. But I know those of you who have come back onto us later on to catch the videos, we really do appreciate that. Right now, during the summertime, most of our views, heavy views, are coming from previous videos. So if you're watching this in the past, come to the present. We probably might have an update by then. But in this case, this is an update to its point. XBiz is reporting this right now. France reinstates age verification rules for the EU sites. Oh, come on! France's highest court, the Council of the State, on Tuesday reinstated age verification rules for EU-based sites under the country's security and regulation of the digital space, or the SERN law, ruling in favor of the French government and against Hami Media. As XBiz reported in June, Cyprus-based Hami Media, which operates the adult site X-Hamster, challenged the application of CERN's age verification regulations to the sites based in other EU countries. The Paris Administrative Court temporarily suspended enforcement of those rules, but French authorities appealed to the Council of State, which has now dismissed the company's immediate objections. In its decision, the Council of State ruled that Hami Media failed to demonstrate that SERN rules would prevent the company from distributing adult content to users of legal age, echoing the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling in the pivotal age verification, FSC versus Paxton. Importantly, while the court ruled to end the suspension of AV rules under SERN, the Paris Administration Court is still reviewing the broader legal challenges to the degree's validity. SERN requires adult sites accessible in France to implement age verification of users, but there have been many controversies over whether French media regulator ACROM has jurisdictions to regulate companies based in other EU member states, and what procedures would have to be followed. In May, government officials in Luxembourg rebuffed, and put the middle finger up is more like, a French government request to help enforce SERN by taking action against the webcam platform Live Jasmine. The officials rejected the idea that Luxembourg is obligated to enforce French laws. Pornhub, a parent company, ILO, opted to block access to its sites in France rather than to comply with AV requirements. It's called a VPN, ladies and gentlemen. Under SRIN, when the Paris Administration Court suspended those rules, the company reversed that move and made the sites available again. In the wake of today's reversal, IO has announced that it will be resuming blocking access. In France, visitors to Pornhub instead will encounter a message calling for SRIN regulations ineffective, privacy compromising and uninformed, and calling for an effective device-based age verification solution. And this is correct. This is what, and I'm still looking into this, but I believe this is the direction that we should be going in. Not the websites. Not the websites should be age verified. It should be the device itself. Because remember, when you, and I've said this before, when you buy a computer, when you buy a laptop, when you buy a smartphone, a tablet, what is the first thing you do? You identify yourself. You identify you know, if you're using a PC computer, you know, you put your Microsoft account into that computer. You sign on to Microsoft. That's correct. If you're on an Apple product, you're putting in your Apple account to that situation. So why won't they go with this? I'll tell you why. It's because they want censorship. This has nothing to do with pornography or protecting children. Understand that. You know, put that in your perspective. It has nothing to do. We have another story coming down the pike that basically now they're going after social media accounts, you know, like Blue Sky. Blue Sky, they're deeming it pornographic site. And it would have to follow under age verification rules. The same with Reddit. And the same with several other sites. This is something that's coming down the pike. You know, it's going to be a time, you know, there's talks of Netflix, Hulu, and many other streaming sites that may have to go through these policies as well. What does that tell you? It's censorship. It's nothing to do with validating if children are on here. Most of these sites have the ability to switch to a children section of the site itself. It can be adapted, and that's up to the parents, the family itself, the family unit. The government should not be involved with all this blocking, putting in age verification laws to this effect. And the thing about it is, I think France is going to be putting a damper. I believe if this continues, this is going to end up to be a major fight in the EU. For the reason is, besides that there is controversy of the corruption in the high echelons of the EU, you're going to be probably seeing that because that France wants to interject their rules, it's going to neglect all the other rules to itself, killing France's rules as well, because that's what's going to end up to be voted and put into court. It's like, you guys cannot agree on it, so then, you know, we negate it to the point. Because it's power. This is what they want to do, is control power. One state cannot control another state's situation on their beliefs. To that point. You know, if one state says, hey, listen, you know, we're not going to block it. We're not going to the point on there. You cannot force them to do that. You cannot force them into making, and this is what's happening here. You have France forcing other companies in other countries to go by their rule. Luxembourg is not France. The United Kingdom is not France. Scotland is not France. This is the problem with these laws. They're trying to assert their own rule of thumb. And it's going to be ugly in the end, to the point. So let me know in the comments below. It's a bit of an short update to this point, but let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about this? Don't forget to hit that like, share, and hey, hit that subscribe button right now. We really do appreciate it because YouTube is starting to change the rules once again, and it's going to hamper, especially channels like myself and Sci-Fi Snob, which basically we're trying to get up there. We ourselves are well over 1,300 subscribers, but it just literally has tapped out at this point. And even though it is the slow part of the season, I do admit that to that point, but please, if you like our content, hit that subscribe button. Same thing over at Sci-Fi Snob's channel. Do hit his. He's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as well. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out all of our other videos here on CutiCast TV, Man with a Show, and every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Rumble, Otaco Thursday. Do check it out. We got some great stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks on that program itself. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.